Ship life. That's why you're here. A life many fantasize about. A life crew members over-romanticize. The extraordinary sacrifices we make are unknown to most. Missed holidays, birthdays, weddings, graduations, the birth of a child. Life moves on while at sea. People move on while at sea. You expect to return home to how things were, but that's never the case. The sea becomes your home. We find peace in the sunsets. The "what am I doing here" thought is a never-ending constant. Loneliness is something we all deal with. Some days, I just want to go home. I don't want to have to worry about the back on board time. I don't want to worry whether or not I'm going to have Wi-Fi, whether or not I'm going to be able to call my family or go out to eat. I don't want to be caught off guard when something important happens on land and I've missed it again. These walls are my home. For 5 to 8 months at a time, I'm confined to them. And like anything in life, it has its ups, it has its downs, and you experience everything in between.
Alright, what's up, people of the world? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. I am on board Holland America's MS Rotterdam. You have clicked on this video because you want to know what it's like to work and live on a cruise ship, and I'm here to show you. So with that being said, let's get going.
Time. Something we lose track of at sea. Is it a port day? Is it a sea day? How's the weather outside? Some days I won't even see the outside. There's been entire cruises where I've failed to even leave the ship. It's weird to think people pay an exorbitant amount of money to cruise, and sometimes as a crew member, we won't even get off the ship in the most luxurious spots. You become pretty acquainted with the dark down here. Most of us have no portholes in our cabins. Just a small little room.
Back in the trenches down here on A deck, and we are headed to the gym. It's not been that eventful of a day due to the fact that all the ports and everything got canceled, but you know, you see the loneliness of just sitting around.
Working on ships has made me somewhat of a minimalist. I don't own a whole lot of things. I don't bring a whole lot of things on board. I never really take the time to make my cabin my own, as I know I'll just have to tear it down at the end of the contract. The safe haven for me, a place where I go to ease my mind, is the gym. It just helps me to take my mind off of things. Sometimes it can get overwhelming. We need a release. I'll stare out the porthole, just take some time for myself, and just kind of forget about things for a while.
So, I'm off the coast of Iceland here, and it is absolutely freezing. As I've said multiple times today, they canceled the ports because the weather was crazy, which I'm sure you can see. But yeah, man, off the coast of Iceland, it is frigid out here. I've seen the midnight sun here. Yeah, it's always crazy to be out here in the middle of the ocean and just kind of look out and realize how small we are. So, you know, it's a view you can only get on the cruise ship.
The food. I hear guests talk about how good the food is, and truthfully, it's not bad. It's just redundant. It's the same thing every cruise.
And so, yeah, a lot of people ask me, you know, do you get seasick and all of this stuff? And the answer is no. I remember getting kind of sick one time.
on a Carnival cruise ship on the way out of Miami, but I'm just so used to this now that, you know, I guess I've got my sea legs, as they say. So that's the answer to that question. Also, another thing we get asked is, what do other crew members think about working on ships? So I had the pleasure of talking to my friend who is the gift shop manager, and the pleasure to talking to my other friend who is a dishwasher on board, and we're gonna see what they think about working on cruise ships. So this is their opinion.
Hi.
All right, my friend, if you could describe what it's like to work on a cruise ship in one word, what would it be?
In the beginning I found it very difficult, but later on I used to it, and I'm good now.
You good now?
Yeah. I've got many friends to talk to, and also playing around, like to play basketball and all.
All right. So we're gonna play basketball then.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Boom. All right, I'm here with my friend Carlene. She's from Trinidad. Throughout this video, I've named 2 things that I didn't like and 1 thing that I really liked about ships. And I'm gonna ask her 1 thing that she really likes about ships and see if she maybe mentions some of the same things that I did. So what would you say?
I would say one of the positives to working on a cruise line is the affordability of being able to travel destinations you wouldn't normally pay out of pocket, you know.
Sure.
Dealing with different cultures as well. As you know, on a cruise ship, there are multiple different nationalities that you interact with on a daily basis. And, you know, you learn a lot from different cultures, you know, their way of life, the way they behave, behavioral patterns, etc., you know, and you make friends as well, you know, in all different countries, you know, and that's one of the positives for me and the takeaway from working on a cruise ship.
All right, thank you so much, Carlene.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So I'm getting off the ship today, and I'm in the beautiful port of Lerwick, Scotland. So let's go. I just walked off the ship, and we're off to check out the port.
This is what we call a tender port, meaning you have to take a boat from the cruise ship to get to land. Sometimes it can be a hassle.
Yeah, so quick ride, not too bad. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day to be in Scotland. And what is it, Tuesday? That's the thing. People don't tell you when you work on ships, you forget what day of the week it is, because none of that matters. It's either a sea day or a port day, and today is a port day. So it's actually a pretty cool little town. It's interesting to walk in this stuff and see different places and everything. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty unique. It's cool to be in Scotland. So you can see the smile on my face. And it's something that I love most about my job is that I'm always somewhere new. Typically for not too long, maybe an overnight, 2 overnights tops at best, but nonetheless, it's very cool.
The travel is my absolute favorite thing about the job. I've gotten to see so much of the world by a cruise ship. It's a Tuesday afternoon. I'm on a solo hike through Scotland, a place I never thought I'd be. Who could mind, though? To be here for free, to be present, to be surrounded by the beauty. It's important to get off of the cruise ship. It's important to go out. It's important to cherish these things. People spend so much money to see these sights, and I'm walking around for free. I've mentioned some ups and downs, but on days like today where I'm just running through the hills, it's hard to beat it. You make it to the top, you look out, you feel like you're on top of the world, and I thank God I feel young, I feel alive, I feel right. I've made so many memories this contract. I make so many memories every contract. I always take home something special with me. A new story, a new friend, a new place to fantasize about when I'm lonely. These are the perks of my job. These are the things that few people get to see. As I mentioned before, people pay a hefty fee to see these things. And I'm out here exploring just because I can. So it's not all doom and gloom out here. There's a lot of positives. And for that, I'm grateful. As I sit here on these rocks in Scotland, wondering what tomorrow might bring, I have to stop myself and realize that I'm still in today. It's an incredible experience to work on ships, and one that I would recommend to anybody. Like I said, I'll have these memories for a lifetime. Alright, so I am back in my ever so homey cabin. If you liked what you saw today, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you have made it this far, then I assume that you've liked what you heard. And yeah, it's just a pleasure to have you here. So that's just a little bit more about my life and other people's life on board the cruise ship. So I'm going to be uploading way more vlogs. This is just the beginning. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Josh. Leave me a question and we'll get to it, all right? Take care.